That's right, everybody. We are live from the garage. Thanks for coming back, guys. Thanks for coming back. Thank you for this gem here. And oh no, Mr. Bill, I can't tell you how happy that makes me. I'm just took a gaze at the chat here. And I'm seeing your messages here, Bari Snyder, about the live chats. I will check in with everybody. I mean, I know we'll have to see what's happening. I don't know. I don't, I saw your series of chats here. Only Lisa's Day Off and Rib Guy have been at the Blue Building encampment all day. All the live streams went dead at 6 this morning. I saw now live streams in LA. So let's just check that out because this is live. And let's see what is up at SPTV.space here. And you are correct. Right now, the people that are live are Mama's Life, Fat Grammy, and Elron Liar 91. Let's see what's going on with the LA streamers. If we're on, let me share with you guys because I'm just talking to myself here at this point. Let's see here. There we go. And these are the people that are live. Like it's not even showing me right now. So let me refresh. There I am. I just went live. So it takes a second for it to refresh. These are our new channels. If you guys haven't done that, and let's see what's happening in LA. Nothing. Okay, let's go to my YouTube homepage here. And again, same for showing up. DOA was live earlier. Let's just go to his channel. So this was his live that ended 2 hours ago. He's doing another thing later. Let's check in with Streets. And he went live last night. Let's check in with Lara. And she's not live quite yet. Danny got his restraining order yesterday, unfortunately. The last one he did, of course, was 6 hours ago. Let's just check in and see what happened at the end of that.
I'll start the first. Lily, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Cause we have been trying to go to San Diego.
Okay, so he's
all right. Bet Lily.
Just
we're on our way.
About what happened, and he's going to go to San Diego. Apparently, let's see about Hollywood Aja. She finished streaming last night. That was 4 hours long. Let's see here. Well, let's look for, let's go back to SPTV.space. And you guys said it was Lisa's Day Off. So let's find Lisa's Day Off here. Now, even her newest live was from 16 hours ago. I don't see one that's newer than that. And she did that for almost 3 hours. So I don't know, guys. I'm out of the loop on that. I'll send a text to Lara in a little bit and we'll see what's up, and find out. In fact, I'll fire off that text right now and just see what's happening. Okay. Just check. No, I don't want to do that. My HomePod is trying to connect to this phone and play a song, which I'm not trying to do right now. All right. So firing off that text to check in and see how she's doing. I will let you know what I hear back if I hear anything. All right. But in the meantime, let's get into it. So I actually do have something else to share with you guys, which I'm going to put up right now. So yesterday, MD Media 18, pardon me, posted something of super, super interest to me. And if you're not subscribed to them, please go give them a subscribe. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, girl. I moved my live because I saw that you were on and I wanted to make sure you got out all the juicy, juicy hot goss about Mike Rinder. Good for you. Oh my goodness, you guys, let's see here. I'm way behind in the chat. This live has been on a while. No, I just started, Lanakin. Rib Guy is live. Okay. What's his yet? What is Rib Guy's thing? So Eve, it's not like a status thing. As soon as Fluffer Squirrel UK becomes aware that someone is an SPTV contributor, she adds them right in. And that was where this goes. Ethics and engineering, like Phil Jones, boom, there's his channel. He's new. So yeah, it's nothing more nefarious than that. All right. You just got, this is Rib Guy. Does it matter to, oh my goodness. Okay, let me type that in. Give me ein Moment. Why is that turned? My other screen, guys, is turned the wrong way. So this is a long name. Does it matter to Uno? $46. Oh, does it matter to you, not to me? Very fancy. I'm going to give him a subscribe. There we go. Just subscribed. Okay, so let's go to his live. But he's not. This is old now.
Sidewalks closed. Sidewalks closed.
So, yeah, these are his other shorts. And yeah, this is from 5 days ago. So if he's live on somebody else's channel. You are very welcome. Christy, it was my pleasure to hang out with my friend Rabbit and clear the air earlier today. Let's see here. And yes, if you do want a membership, there they are. Check them out. Get them while they're hot off the press. Let's see here. Type rib guy for you. Okay. I will do that. Rib guy for, where's it? For, and then you. Okay. I'm like, what is happening? Oh, there we go. This guy. Okay, well, let me subscribe here under Rib Guy. And there he is.
Our last
live.
two cooks have gotten TROs.
What's that?
Temporary restraining orders.
Yeah, they're not giving me nothing.
I understand.
Wait, what do you mean the last two cooks? Well, Danny got one.
And DOA.
And DOA. All right.
I'm just saying.
Thanks for the heads up. And I'll take my chances.
Okay, so what's happening? I'm going to rewind it a little bit. So there's a bunch of people here.
Oh, boy. All right, I'm back. Are you saying you're slow there, Jen? Is that what your issue is? Where did she go? I saw her when I went across the street, let the dog get some water, and
Freaking
now I don't see her. Okay. Do
But
we have what we need?
I saw a hamburger in there yesterday, and I just figured we should just use the stuff.
The older use first.
Yeah.
Because we got more this morning.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Start cooking the stuff that we have before it goes down.
What's your timeline?
No, I don't have one. I'm good.
Okay, he's talking
Until-
about cooking food.
Whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
dinner.
The people I've talked to, I've said dinner between like 5 and 7 because
Okay.
I don't have a clue.
Sure. So what I'm
Who's
thinking
that guy?
is, how's that?
Howdy, boss.
No
Don't
one
join.
knows.
It's a cult. Fuck, I thought that was Lee. How'd you know I thought that?
I looked and I double taked, convinced myself it wasn't. And then I watched the way you reacted. I'm like, oh, she thinks it is too.
Yeah, I thought I was getting big time. I was getting ready to say, you know what? If it's gonna be all like that, I'll let me start drawing. No, it's like weird.
Thank you, baby. Now she'll go out in the snow.
Good dog. You got
No,
Yeah.
This bitch is smarter than I
it.
am.
Yeah, she's smart. But she listens. It's the kid.
Okay, so a lot of people.
I sometimes find that a lot of pet parents don't train their dog
No, I did.
properly,
I
so
did.
Really?
Larry,
I haven't
read
noticed.
that.
They're
That,
afraid to
that
like
they've
when
been
they want their
alone all
dog
day.
to do
I
something,
do see that.
they start
So I'm not
baby talking
reporting it.
and I'm like, that's the
I hate when
exact
you click on something and it just
opposite of
automatically
what
wants you
you
to
do when
report
you're
something.
training a
I'm
dog.
not reporting you, Barry.
Training a dog, it's no.
I don't like the
So,
people
yeah.
that have dogs and don't
The
think they
streets
need
had
to be
court this morning.
Right.
regarding
They're
the
just
bullying.
dogs.
Oh, right,
They
right,
do what
right.
they do.
No, but haven't heard anything about it yet. Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be around, can you watch up and down
I am. That's
in
why I came
between
over.
what you're
because
doing?
I
I'm
saw
excited.
this- yeah, sure.
If he's going to broadcast
I need to-
live, I
I need to
will
rotate.
I will
this
live
over
stream it with it with the whole
What time
thing
we
of
got now?
popcorn.
Let's do it. What time is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who
Here's the thing,
started
I'm a
fighting,
fantastic
Ellen?
cook.
Oh my God, I missed
gotta
everything.
look at all that.
Guys, I have to
It's
take breaks
just, I'm a little
from all
gonna
this.
be nervous
Who
working on
was
the, trying to
fighting
do
while
it
I was
like
on
Canada
with
style.
Rabbit?
But
What
I will
happened?
muster through.
You guys.
I wish DOA would call me back and tell me where the wind guard is for
Wind
the
guard?
pot
Tell me,
burners.
Okay, so they're just
There's, you have the grill,
Yeah,
you have the burners.
yeah.
There's a guard
Okay,
that goes
well,
around so
they're-
the wind doesn't blow the flame out.
that's what they're doing.
You kind of need it.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a 3-piece. One is about that long and black
Metal or plastic?
metal. The other one is the width of the grill.
Okay.
Okay.
They were here. One was missing. I found the one that was missing, and now
All right. Well, I don't know. I'll keep my eye on this chat over here. There's been a huge problem amongst some of the newer people showing for the cause, and then the OGs. Then there was the restraining orders, and they had to let a couple of new protesters go. Wow. Okay. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I can make that softer. Sorry, guys. I had to turn it up the other day because nobody could hear it when I had it on there. The mods are fighting and causing chaos or something. Yeah, I see the DOA has some sort of stream coming up. And I know Jay DSA did a stream earlier. Denver Jay has left the movement and said very nasty things about DOA on his way out. Okay. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that because Jay was such a voice of calm and reason. If you're watching, Jay, I would love to talk to you, just to find out what happened. No. Rabbit was covering Miriam's post, which I just happened to have up, actually, and talking about this fantastic letter that was written on her behalf, or on behalf of, just humanity, really. Yeah. And her stream today was like, why is Leah liking hate posts about Aaron and other people? And she didn't really understand why that was. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Occupy situation. I've got it open here on my other screen. I will keep my eye on it to see what's going on. And if I do get a text back from Laura, I will let you guys know. to the best of my ability what's going on. And Jacob Harley was going to go to Street's hearing. He would go live with Aaron if he gets any information. Correct. Yeah, he was just in the other hearing for Valerie Haney, and he went live with Aaron about that. So Jacob's trying to cover all the stories today. So yeah. Lady Pamela, this is a good point. Why do people insist on calling real life things drama? Humans be humaning. It's how I see it, and how you react is what makes or breaks you, in your opinion. I agree. I agree with that. I feel like part of the problem, honestly, and this is just my opinion, is that, and I said that on Rabbit's Live, if you guys saw it, like if Rabbit and I got into a beef about something, or if I say something incorrectly or wrong, Rabbit's going to call me. Rabbit's going to text me and say, "What, girl? What was that?" Right? But we're not going to go back and forth and make videos about personal disagreements that we have with each other. Okay. And I've done my best to not involve my channel, in creating drama between me and other creators. Now, of course, everyone's going to jump on me right now and say, "What about Mike Rinder?" I hold that man as an exception to the rule. A, for his attacks on Miriam, which I'm never going to let fly. B, because he was the head of OSA for 25 years. And he got some splaining to do. Splaining. And in that same vein, guys, let's just throw somebody else in the mix here. Let's remind people that there was a dynamic duo punch of justice and torture there in the Church of Scientology. And that is Mr. Marty Mark Rathbun. Okay. There was no name that could strike fear, just sweat pouring out of your whole body, than the last name Rathbun. And I do mean Marty and his wife at the time. Man, talk about somebody who was terrifying. Okay, Laura, I have to address this really quickly. What about Mitch? I didn't even know he existed, to be honest with you, until he popped his head out to say, "Hello, I'm important. Oh, did you know I wrote a book?" I honestly had no idea who he was, because guess what, guys? When you watch all those technical training films, you know what they don't have? Credits. They don't tell you the names of the actors. They don't tell you the director's name. They don't tell you the producer's name. It's just L. Ron Hubbard. Like as if he was doing it all from the great beyond, from Target 2. Oh, Mitch. I'll say it 100 times. I don't care. Go ahead. Come on over, Mitch. This time you won't have your good friend Liz to try and bail you out and end a live that isn't going your way in a half an hour. I was nice to you that day. I was nice. I was willing to put everything aside. Bygones be bygones. Instead, Mitch, you couldn't help yourself. You had to go push some protesters around, parade yourself around, pack like your Mr. Important pants. And now you're going on, dare I say her name, Lindsay's channel, to do nothing but bitch with Catherine Olsen. Talk about a backstabber. Wow. Sits with me, takes a picture with me at the cult conference. We all are drinking. We're having a good time. And then what does she do? She goes on Lindsay's show to say nasty, nasty things about me with them and the 5 people that watched it. I didn't even watch it. Like, what? Mitch, honey, if you want to be an advocate for people getting off of drugs, because I know Scientology helped you with that, then go talk to some real drug rehab people and don't come back to me. Well, who is it? Who should I talk to? It's called the internet, Mitch. Google it. I know you're in your 70s, so this is a hard concept for you, but everybody's not going to do it for you. Okay? Google it. Go to YouTube. Find a big channel who's, talking about getting off of drugs and staying off of drugs, a drug-free life, whatever. It's not Lindsay. You only have one purpose going on her show. You know what that purpose is? To shit on Aaron. That's it. And why are we all shitting on Aaron? You know why? Because he's the biggest. He's the biggest. He's the best. He's the most effective. And so now, like I predicted, things are going to get crazier, guys. Things are going to get crazier. I'm going to pull up Rib Guy again because I still have it on my other screen here. But like you can see, we had a vibrant scene happening outside of here. Okay. What did we have going on? We had life. We had an example of what real people do outside of the cult to help. And then what happened? Now, here's what's weird to me. The police served DOA yesterday, right? They went up to his car. It was a whole scene. He had a little toddler fit about it. Okay. And that's my interpretation of how he reacted to being served. He talked about it a little more eloquently this morning with Natalie and a little bit more later. I have read your stuff, Barry. I put it up. Calm down. Let's take a breath. With no visitors or power since 6 a.m. I don't know why. I texted Laura. I told you. As soon as I get an update, I will. Okay. And then they served Danny. Now, what I find interesting about these two servings of TROs, okay, is that in both cases, from the video of Danny's and the video of DOA's, they are not the aggressor, right? I mean, DOA is being his normal, cheeky, very quirky self and barking at the guy. But, however, he is not touching that person. That person came at him with a lethal weapon, a bike chain, and started swinging that at him. That is considered a weapon. Same thing in Danny's video. He was not hurting or attacking or touching that person. Right? Okay. And now they've taken two people who are getting the message across, who are doing a good job, who also, interestingly enough, were targeted by one specific individual on their channel for weeks and weeks on end. Who could that be? Who could it be? Oh, I know. Zero Dark Tony. So isn't it interesting to everybody, okay, that Zero Dark Tony targets DOA and Danny and Solomon, by the way. Two of the people are served TROs shortly thereafter. But reverse the Uno card, hot dog. ZDT is about to get a dose of his own medicine and get served a very much needed, very much deserved. Let's give it up. Restraining order on Zero Dark Tony. I'm celebrating. I'm going to pop all the popcorn. I really, 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 really hope that Streets live streams that while he serves him, because I want to see his little teeny tiny face. He's a very short man. He's shorter than me. Tony is. And I want to see it live. Okay. I want to see it live. I want to see him get served, because now this man has gone from just making grotesque, fake pictures of me and talking about the most disgusting things about me to, I guess he got kicked out of his apartment. He's living in his mom's house now. That'll be my guess, guys. He's living at his mom's in Encino. Go check that. And that, yeah, he did call CPS on Solomon, and he does deserve a restraining order. This is a 60 plus. Somebody said he was 53. I think Streets did. He's not 53. He is, he's in his 60s, I believe, because he's actually a junior. Tony his dad was the senior. Where do I want to go? I want to find something here. How do you type in? I guess you have to type in x.com. No, it's still twitter.com. I mean, like, how dumb is that? How dumb is that? You know, that you can't even type in x.com. Somebody bought that. So I wanted to show you guys something here because Streets has been posting amazing stuff here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, film the police. That's correct. So let me go to his page here to just show you what he posted 19 hours ago. Okay. About Tony. Right. So he says let's go to this post here. Okay. So this is Tony's new gig now, guys. This is what he's doing.
Attorneys to defend
Posting game
or a leash.
Legends. Hey guys, Apex Legends. If we can contact them.
Yeah.
Solomon is
your mom
hit their platform, this gaming platform, to live stream and then just say whatever he wants to say while he's playing this game. Dear Apex Legends, do you know that someone who is platforming your game is using it to spew completely disgusting hate and everything else? So this is Tony live the other day on his gaming channel now.
Wishes that your dad fucking put you on her stomach or in her mouth at this point. Because look at how she just drops you off. Do you know how pissed off she's going to be at you, Solomon, when we try and sue your insurance company? We may fail.
So he's threatening to sue a child's insurance company. A child's insurance company. And said, if you guys didn't catch that instead of impregnating his mother, his dad should have put him in her mouth or on her stomach, meaning the seminal secretion should have not made it to the egg. Okay. But it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. So I'm going to go out of this. So I'm not going to play that whole thing, but this is what he said here. So Street says a 16-year-old was granted a restraining order today against Zero Dark Tony due to sexual harassment and stalking. When the perp found out, he responded with this below. I need to serve this guy with the restraining order immediately. Does anyone know how to find him? And Tony says so eloquently, Whittle Solomon wants a restraining order for mom jokes on the internet. What a weak little bitch. It's free speech, just like him lying about me is. So Solomon's mom has still got it going on. Show me where it's illegal to talk about banging his mom's sweet asshole and finishing my load on her back. I did retweet this and I did say thank you to Streets for helping Solomon get justice. ZDT stalked me online and at my job, affected my mental health to the point of almost death. These are all facts. I will provide any evidence needed in any future cases against him. Solomon is a real hero, and I stand by that. I stand by that. This person who, from the video we just saw, is broadcasting from his mom's house from, I don't know, from somewhere. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, how gross is, I don't know. This is all he does, guys. I haven't been on his channel in 3 months since I started my intensive therapy. This is the first time I've heard his voice out loud or seen a post of his, because I don't go there for my own personal mental health, because he is evil. There is not a good bone in his body. I tried with every ounce of my being to show him grace and empathy. Yeah, this, as far as I know, VTV is on his YouTube. I don't know if he's also streaming to Twitch or not. So no, this absolutely needs to be reported. So if you guys want to go report Zero Dark Tony, he's here on the YouTubes. You can go find, just search Zero Dark Tony. He's the only one. He's the only one. But guys, I reported his channel. Hello, YouTube overlords. I reported his channel daily, every day for a year. Nothing got taken down. He's still platformed. So maybe him talking about a minor will be the final straw for YouTube. For YouTube. Okay. I just feel like, yeah, I know, Lady Pamela. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Is he paid by Scientology? AK girl, my soft answer is yes. I truly believe there's no way that he could be making money off of doing this, because I have, 3 times the platform that he does, basically. And I saw he put out how much he was making off YouTube, and it was like $500. So there's no way he can afford. Apparently he's not affording it anymore. He's at his mom's now. His little studio and all his little toys, but he does run scams every once in a while, right? We all saw the drama that played out with Dana Duda. How he conned her out of 10 grand and then try to gaslight her live on the internet. That didn't go so well for him. He could be living off disability. I mean, he's old enough now, but also report that shit to the state of California. So he's living off disability, but he's working. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Yes, I agree. Antics of Mama Squirrel. His name is Zero for a reason. He is a zero. Absolutement. ZDT is not a trust fund baby. That would be a fun story though, Marilyn. He said he went to an exclusive boarding school near my hometown in Massachusetts. Yeah, I'm sure. And he also brags about his Hollywood career, which was nothing. Okay. So don't believe a word out of this man's mouth. Yes, this is true. Reporting on YouTube is best done on a personal computer or laptop. You can attach a timestamp and note to your report if done through a personal computer and not through the cell phones. I agree. I did that also, Peekaboo. I did that also. I have transcripts. I've got everything. Yeah, the street should get in contact with Marissa Sigmund. Yeah, Dianetics. Yeah, has his deets. So, right. Correct, Eve. Thank you for correcting me. You can work on disability. There's a limit on how many hours and how much you can make. Correct. He's 53-ish. I thought he was a little bit more older than me than that, because that's only 5 years away from me. And that makes me sad. Yeah, I do. I think that, yeah, it is a weird internet niche to have chosen. It's not productive. He's 56. That's what I'm saying. I knew he was almost a decade older than me. So yeah, he should know better. He's a 56. He's in his late 50s, 56. He should be mature. Be mature. Yeah. So I agree with you. I've seen so much toxic behavior online that had nothing to do with Scientology, which wasn't earning the toxic people any money. So don't assume he's doing it for OSA or financial gain. Yeah, maybe. That's also something to consider. But I find it not a coincidence, guys, to be honest, that he had been single-handedly targeting DOA and Danny and Solomon. And this is the result. That Scientology somehow had time enough to file restraining orders on behalf of citizens to keep these guys away from their churches. It's a little too convenient for my liking. Okay. It's a little too convenient that he starts to, do that. And that's the result. Okay. So at any rate, I've still got the stream up here, the live stream. I'm looking at it. I still haven't heard anything back from Laura. I will check with everybody that I know, guys. I will message my chat. Let's see here. I can't spell. I mean, my question is, because I can't see from this angle, but it appears that all the stuff is still set up, all the tents and everything else. So I don't know, you know, what's going on. So, yeah. But if I hear something, I will let you guys know. Okay. So we're going to keep that over here. Yeah, no. Can you please explain why Lindsay knows so much about Aaron and Juliana? They're not the same person, right? No. Lindsay and Juliana are not the same person. They actually were on a live together yesterday to accuse me of doing whippets. I didn't know what whippets were, guys. I had to Google it. I've said this a million times. I'm the most vanilla person on the planet. My mom did, and you guys saw the live with my mom. Thank you guys for tuning into that. My mom did a boatload of drugs in the 60s before she joined Scientology. And so as a kid, I was terrified of drugs. And I would just really ask my mom, like, hey, my friends are talking about blah. What will happen if I take it? And she was like, well, one time, my friends and I at the commune, and then she would have like, you know, it was like one time at band camp, like it was just like a story like that was wild. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want that. That sounds dumb. And so I never did drugs, guys. No drugs. I made myself one drink in middle school because I wanted to try it. All my friends were drinking. So I made myself a whiskey and Coke, Irish whiskey and Coke. I took 2 sips of it and I thought, this is disgusting. And threw it down the drain, paced until my mother came home. Sat her down as soon as she came back from work. It's like, Mom, I got to tell you a secret. She's like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, Mom, I had a drink. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, my friends were talking about it. So I wanted to try it. And so I made myself a Coke and whiskey, to which she started hysterically laughing. And I was like, this is not funny. I'm telling you a really big deal here. I'm trying to get something off my chest. She goes, Nora, first of all, it is whiskey and ginger ale and rum and Coke. Okay. Like, let's get your drink straight. And I was like, Mom, you're giving me bartending tips and I'm trying to tell you that I committed a crime. And she was like, well, did you like it? And I said, no, it was disgusting. I threw it down the drain. She goes, are you going to do it again? I was like, no. She goes, okay, well, then don't worry about it. And that was the end of that. The only other time in high school, which doesn't really count, that I had a drink, well, there was the whole cruise ship. That was international waters, though. That's how I justified that. I did drink a lot of daiquiris. Delicious. But in high school, like at parties and stuff, I did not. And then at the graduation party of my good friend Alyssa, I was like a key holder. I was the person holding everybody's keys and driving everybody home, along with Amy Burleson. Shout out to Amy Burleson, wherever you are. I miss you. And Alyssa was like, you haven't had anything to drink? And I was like, no, I'm driving everybody home. Why would I do that? She goes, Nora, you have to have one drink at one party. This is just like crazy. And I was like, okay, I'll have a sip. So she handed me, because it was 1994, guys, this is what I got. A Bartles and James fruit punch wine cooler. Okay, Bartles and James, shout out to the 90s and Bartles and James. And I took this sip of this fruit punch wine cooler and I savored it. I felt the warmth in my chest. I felt that delicious, like fruit punchy, syrupy, disgusting flavor. And, you know, that was it. And then I handed it back to her and she was like, you're not going to have any more? And I was like, no, I got to drive everybody home. That's it. That's all I can have. She was like, I've never seen anybody with as much self-control as you. I was like, hey, I made a commitment to drive everybody home. What do you want me to do? So I did. I drove everybody home. So yeah, That's like me and drugs, guys. I don't partake. I'm not like a fucking narc that's going to go narc everybody out or something, but I don't know that much about them. I'd have to Google it, to Google what the effects are, because I don't have that much experience with that. All right. Canada Dry. I know this is Canadian Club and ginger ale is a nice rye and dry. So club soda and ginger ale, that would probably be really good. But the only ginger ale that I will drink, Tina, is Canada Dry. Do not bring that Schweppes disgusting mess in my face. That is disgusting. Oh, you guessed Zima? No, I've never had a Zima. They brought those back though. They did bring Zima back. Yeah. Oh, you know what I did buy that I wasn't that thrilled with lately? Juaritos. They make those the drinks when you go to get really good Mexican food. They got the Juaritos. So they've made hard Juaritos. It's too sweet. It's very sweet. And, wasn't a fan. Now I have a whole case of it because you had to buy a case. So I had to tell my kids, like, if you see hard on something, that is not for you. This soda, no para tu. Oh, martinis are good. I make a good martini, by the way. I am a bartender. I did go to bartending school. So everybody wanted it to be a Zima story. I'm sorry, guys. I've never had Zima. Vodka and Kool-Aid. Where did it go? Vodka and Kool-Aid. See, and I have told my kids don't ever drink no punch at a party because they're all teens now. The punch is the dangerous one. It hides the alcohols, especially if it has pineapple juice in it. I learned that trick as a bartender. Jarritos. Yes. Raiku 87. They have hard Jarritos in the mandarin, fruit punch, and tamarind flavors. Get them today at Safeway. That's where I got mine. Oh, girl, vodka and Crystal Light. You're my kind of country, Capricious Caroline. That's all I got to say about that. Uh-oh. Kelly Copter likes Pepsi instead of Coke, but we're still friends. I mean, can we? No, I'm just kidding. I love Kelly Copter. She can drink whatever she wants. Oh, my goodness. Guys, we're off on so many fun tracks today. So what I do, something's going on here. Let's see. See, guys, ADHD is real. Squirrel. What's going on? He moved his camera, and now there's a moving van there. What is going on?
I love her little friends.
I know, it's so cute.
Somebody's got a cute dog.
She emanates. I'm all that.
That's Rib Guy. He's just talking. TOA said in his stream this morning that Sass was a bad actor. I don't know. See, guys, I did not watch DOA's live stream this morning. So I don't know all these accusations. I didn't watch JDSA's either. Oh, that's the truck with the batteries. Okay. He just moved down here. Oh, Lady Pamela.
All right, sweetie.
That's a hard life. Oh, look at that puppy dog. Okay, I thought something was happening because the orientation had changed. He's just talking to the dog now. He does what I do when I'm talking to dogs. I talk to them like they're people. The dog is Rib Dog. Okay, I got you. Sassy is a loose cannon. Okay, see, guys, I'm not up on all this drama. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you on this, Hausdorff. Tempers are high right now because here's the deal, guys. As I pointed out, the momentum of the protests is getting bigger. And I warned yesterday because I know Scientology. I grew up in it. They are only going to attack more. Okay. Just be on the straight attack. That is all they know how to do. They do not know how to communicate, how to sort things out civilly or anything else. Let me see if I got information. Yeah. Yeah. So far, I haven't heard anything back from anybody who knows what's going on. So we'll figure it out, guys. But let me show you what I actually wanted to show you guys today. So we're going to go back to the beginning. Okay. MD Media 18. Yesterday, MD Media 18 put out a video that made me very curious. And it is this one right here. Okay, we're going to take a look at this. So he's on Catalina here. These are obviously closed windows. And he's trying to figure out what they're doing behind these windows because you can hear something going on.
So what we're looking at,
here.
chat, we got people, kind of like young kids in here, doing like karate moves. I hear them yelling and chatting, like karate moves.
So he's trying to get an angle in there. You can kind of see a little bit when he's that way. Do you hear that chanting?
You can go ahead. You're good to go.
See, that's the rest of Catalina. That's the parking lot. That's the side of the building he just came out of, that car. That's obviously a Scientology transport. See, if he would angle it a little bit so you can see people moving around in there. I think somebody's trying to watch him here. See, you see that? They're filming him right there. They got a little camera and they're filming him to see what he's doing. Somebody had their phone out. Yeah. This is definitely either youth or just, it could be kids or it could be, other people. But there's definitely somebody was in that window right here filming him a second ago. See? They're saying something like, come on, come on, come on. Max's mom. That's hilarious. It's the OT8s chanting and using their powers to get rid of the protesters. Yeah. No. Not on the island. This is the street, Catalina. There goes another van of Scientos. Yeah, I can't. This is not a normal thing, guys. This is not a normal activity. That I can tell you 100%. If this is a different video of his, if somehow they are training for something, and thus the name of this video, it would be akin to what we did during Y2K. Who here? Let's put a 1 in the chat if you remember Y2K. Anyone? Okay, so Y2K Didn't freak Scientology out too much. We had a big party on Elmer and Hubbard Way. We sang, Prince. There was a tent up in the parking lot. I almost kissed the girl that I was, feeling all the feels for at the time in front of everybody. Almost lost my mind. That would have been very bad. We held hands and watched the fireworks. Okay. Oh, so, then 2 years later, I was on the RPF. Yeah, we did party like it was 1999 in 1999. That was fun to sing that song that night before it turned the year 2000. So in 2002, March of 2002, on LRH's birthday, I was assigned to the RPF. Yay, hip, hip, hooray. And shortly after I got there, 9/11 happened. Fun times. We were told all kinds of hullabaloo about 9/11. None of it true. But we were told that we needed to prepare for war. And that's what we did at the beautiful big blue buildings. Okay. That little chain area where they walk by, that's called the staging area. Inside the staging area, if you go all the way to the back and then to the right, your right, not my right, there's an opening there that goes into the building that you're now on the back side of the building with the disgusting, acid trip lion in the front of it, Asho. Or you can go downstairs, down to the basement. Okay. And that basement is a maze that goes from that point all the way across the street to AOLA. And there are tunnels that go all the way up to LA Org, some of which have been sealed now because people were escaping too much. Yes, this is true. Hausdorff, people did fix that critical error of the computers not knowing what 000 was with a 2. So yeah, it was kind of weird that we almost ended. And so we were told to start preparing. So each day we would receive truck loads, and I do mean a truck load of supplies, dry goods, canned goods, water, bedding, PPE, you name it. Enough for a couple thousand people to survive for years was loaded by us, glorious, very well paid workers of $12.47 or 32 cents rather per week. And we made rooms, bunks, you name it, so that the basement area was no longer just this empty space down there. We took all the folders that were down there out. We took anything that had just been stored randomly down there out and made it 9/11. Yes, you are correct. It was 2000 that I was on the RPF, not 2002. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. Thank you. I left the RPF in 2002, November. Guys, my mind, this is what happens when you're 48. Things start, I've got to take more ginkgo biloba, apparently. So, at any rate, we are preparing the entire basement for survival. We run drills every night of sounding the fire alarm through the whole base, having the staff evacuate the public, and then all of the staff gather by rank, by rating, by org in the basement to do a base-wide roll call. Okay. And every night we would practice that. We would practice putting on basically what looks like from the movie Outbreak, PPE. showering ourselves off, climbing up this ladder from the basement that comes out all the way at the end of the parking lot, by the way. They go all the way under there, the tunnels. And going outside and then coming back and practicing, getting decontaminated from the possible radiation fallout that we were all absolutely going to be under in no time flat. We were so proud of this accomplishment, guys. David Miscavige came to inspect because who ordered us to do that? David Miscavige. When he came to inspect, he was so angered by what we had prepared. He started throwing a fit. And he was like, who decided to do this? And we were like, that was you, sir. You told us to do that. So, of course, the RPF got thrown on the bus as if we had created this whole scare, because basically his theory was, or his theme, the scuttlebutt was that, what is that? I'm sorry, squirrel. Aja found a mountain of dirt behind the fenced parking lot on Catalina. Which side of Catalina? That would be my question. Is it the Scientology side or that little tiny lot that they also own across the street? So if someone can clarify that. But yeah, then we had to dismantle everything. For days, we were putting that out. And I cannot tell you how much beans and rice we had in crew dining after that, because we had a lot of beans. In the opposite lot, okay, so that lot is a storage lot where they have those shipping containers they have in there. Those hold people's belongings. All of my belongings were shoved into one of those shipping containers while I was on the RPF. And sometimes they hold what Scientology refers to as val docs, valuable documents, PC folders and other things. That is church property, or they rent it. It's one or the other. But a mound of dirt there could literally just be, for the upkeep of the landscaping around the base. And lots of scrap lumber pieces. Wow. Oh, it's getting curiouser and curiouser. They're making something. They're making something. They might be walling stuff off, or doing that, causing a sinkhole, so that, yeah. What are my thoughts on the rumors that they're reopening the closed tunnels? Well, it would make sense, because then the people would be able to get all around the base without being seen. And then the protesters would be like, see, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. Let me tell you about those tunnels, though, okay? Because I spent a lot of time in them. When you're on the RPF, guys, Rehabilitation Project Force, for those of you that are new here, that is the hard labor, forced labor camp that they send people to that are just not towing the line. Okay. So what happens is if you have a target, like let's say you're working in a room and you have to install 10 outlets in that room, you will have a target of getting those 10 outlets fully wired and installed in an hour, which is totally unrealistic and not safe. So if you miss that target when you're on the RPF, you then have to run a lap. And you get assigned a number of laps, however many laps, by your group leader, right? And the punishment can be running a mile if you're really behind a lot, or if they don't want you to run because you have to go far away to go do the running because you can't do the running in public, they send you to the basement to run. Okay, or and a lap, by the way, is a quarter mile. It has to be a quarter mile, one lap. It's not just like because the little loop down there was smaller than a quarter of a mile. So one lap was 4 times around that to equal that quarter mile. So if you got assigned a mile, that's 16 times around to make that up. And yeah, it was a lot of running in in construction steel toe boots, and you weren't allowed to take any equipment off that you had on. Yes, they are like culverts under other hospitals. In fact, when Scientology bought the Big Blue complex from the hospital, Cedars of Sinai, underneath where that parking structure is was the morgue, and they left them a present. There were still bodies down there, guys. Yeah, still bodies in the morgue. Yeah. So yeah, a lot of scary stuff, lots of ghost stories from down there. Okay, well, I hope he does have some more. It's okay. It's okay. I was just trying to calm you down, Barry. It's all good. I think if they are working on new tunnels, that would make sense because they have to get people out of hearing range of the protesters, because your voice as a protester is your biggest weapon. And then, as we could see in this video that we saw on MD Media 18's channel, they are preparing for something. And Scientology is nothing if not prepared for the worst case scenario at all times. Okay? At all times. They do have arms there. They are ready to do some serious stuff. I know I've been contested in that arena about the arms and other things. I've seen it. And if other people didn't know about it, they know now that they have big time weaponry there. So the protesters do need to be safe. I would, if I were a protester, have my eyes out constantly on the roof line, because there you're going to see all kinds of weird stuff. You're going to see weird people up there with possibly some accoutrement. Just saying. I mean, I knew that when I went to LA. They just don't, they don't scare me, because when the LA riots happened, guys, security at both CC and Celebrity Center and Big Blue took to the rooftops to patrol with AK-47s. That's facts. They were ready for rioters to come and try and take over the Big Blue building, which is not what happened. No rioters came. It was really stupid, but they were convinced there was going to be an attack on Scientology amid a race riot. Getting justice for Rodney King. People were like, you know what else we should do? We should go get Scientology. Like, no one was coming to get you guys. There was a lot more important stuff happening than a bunch of culties at a compound in the middle of Los Angeles. So, yeah. Yep. Yes, they do. They do have a gun range. They do a lot of practice. Now, if you guys did catch my live with Sir Crepitus at Markab_recon, if you haven't seen his channel, and Aaron, while we were waiting for Michael to get freed, I did ask some interesting questions. And I learned a lot of stuff because Sir Crepitus is a fountain of knowledge. And I'm so happy that he's on our side of the protest. Let me just say that. So I asked him specifically about security guards and guard cards. Okay. Because we've all seen this footage of security and they're big, tough, security guards. Like, look at me. You got to get off my property. Beer, beer, beer. Now, there is a difference between a police officer and security guard that I found out that I did not know. So we've all seen the protesters ask the police that show up, what's your name, and badge number, what's your serial number, right? And they have to tell you that by law. The police officers have to let you know, right? Who they are, what their badge number is. You have to be able to identify them. They are public servants. That's the law. Security guards, on the other hand, not the same deal. They do legally have to be certified and carry what's called a guard card. It's supposed to be on their person. It does have like a serial number on it, but they do not have to tell you what that serial number is, or even if they have a guard card. Now, they wouldn't have to tell us, the citizens, but they would have to show that to a police officer. So my big question is, why aren't the police checking these guards for actual certification? Because it is illegal to go around and represent yourself in that manner without the proper certification. If you guys have ever seen any of these other companies that run legit security companies, Securitas, Brinks, all these parking places and stuff that have security, you have to be a certified security guard. There's a whole training thing. And depending on if you're going to be armed or unarmed, you're baton trained. There's all kinds of stuff that you have to, go through. Right. And mostly Scientology guards are unarmed guards. Okay. They do not carry a concealed weapon other than pocket knives, which they all carry. Some of them carry pepper spray. Okay. But that, okay. Yeah. There is a website to check on that. We'd have to check. But the thing is that these guys should not even be in security if they're not certified. That's my point. I know I need a neon sign. I need that, Tim. You are correct. Live from the garage. I love that. Well, I was thinking about putting it above, above this, like in letters, or I could put it above my head here. Just in letters, live from the garage. I really would love to do that. Yeah. It does make them more dangerous. And they do have LAPD on speed dial. They aren't certified armed. They can't carry handcuffs, and some do. This is correct. So they have things on their little, Batman utility belts that they're not supposed to have, guys. This is just more cosplay from culties who are not real anything. They're not real security guards. They're not real Navy people. They are not real, but they are desperate, like Pinocchio, to be a real boy. Okay. But yeah, they shouldn't be handling those handcuffs. And protesters out there who are getting negative interactions from these security guards should remind the police when they do show up, hey, this guard is accosting me and, taking my civil rights. Also, I noticed on his little Batman, utility belt, he's got handcuffs, and I don't believe he's a certified security guard. I would like you to go check that right now, because I'm going to make a citizen's arrest on this guy for trying to, pretend to be a security guard. Like, that's not cool. What's his guard card? Is he certified? Like, that's what I would say. Oh, Martha, you're taking it back in the way back machine. They aren't homo novus either. Correct. That is what L. Ron declared for everybody who reached the state of clear. You are no longer a homo sapien. You are homo novus. Homo novus. Yes. Yes. It should go on the FBI reports. What church owns guns, let alone AKs? Other than, Waco? I don't know. COB hired the best security money can buy to shut the protesters down. Electronics, pretty scary. Dark ops stuff, in my opinion. Church of Scientology capable of doing whatever necessary. Protesters need to watch their six. 100 million%. Even when I was at Portland last time, people kept saying in my live stream that it was getting glitchy and it was being weird. And I had noticed that they put like a cylindrical thing in the window that looked like a little JBL speaker. And yeah, then the signal got weird. So yeah, I feel like it needs to be known. What is this? Oh, you've got it. This is where you can go, guys, to see if these guys have licenses or not. Like, we could check Jason Jordan's license because we know his real name, William, aka William. So let's go there. Let's go there. For some reason, I don't know why I can't copy this even from the comment, which is so annoying. So let's see if I can just go to it here. Now Rib Guy's across the street, or his camera is anyway. Okay, so let's go here. BSIS.ca.gov. /forms _pubs /online. This is a long one. Verify. Aha! Verify a license. Let's check it out together. Boom. Here we go. Guys, I'm on the ca.gov. Security guard. Security! We're checking. It's searching. Let's see here. Ridgecrest. Canceled. Family support suspension. License suspended for noncompliance with a judgment or order for support. No practice is permitted. Questions should be directed to the Department of Consumer Affairs Family Support Unit. This happened back in 20. Does Jason have a kid somewhere? Canceled. That's Utah. Canceled. I don't know what his middle name is. That's San Diego, Sacramento, LA. Suspended, no qualifier. This is a baton permit for their zip code there in Hollywood, 90028. And the same person, Jason T. Jordan, also canceled as of last year. Interesting. Firearm permit. Interesting. So this is from BSIS. I'm guessing it's going to be this one. But that's interesting. Interesting. What was the other? Parker. Oh, what was Parker's last name? Parker. Oh, you know who we could look up? My favorite, James Richardson, who's the security chief celebrity center. Let's see where he is. Canceled. Sacramento, Bakersfield, Oakland, Bakersfield, Los Gatos, San Francisco, Covington, Panorama City, James A. III, private investigator, qualified manager. Now, it's still going. My guess is this is the security chief. Because he's not a junior, he is a third. Yeah, I do know that about James. Let's see here. Bishop. Interesting. Bakersfield, Rochester, Tuscaloosa, La Quinta. That's probably also James. No, that's a pharmacy technician. That's not him. Arthur Lee, La Quinta. Interesting. Santa Cruz, Corona, Ontario, Long Beach, and San Bernardino. This is very interesting. A baton permit. Firearm permit. Previous name, James E. Richardson. Oh. License relationships. Exposed firearm permit. Doesn't give you the exact address, but that zip code, guys, is the zip code for Celebrity Center. So James is licensed. I wish I knew Parker's last name. Parker Osmond. Okay, thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you. So let's look at Parker. Parker Osmond. No results matched your searched criteria. Uh-oh, hot dog. Uh-oh, hot dog. Sounds like the security chief for Big Blue got no licensing. Osmond? No D? Okay, I'll look at that too. Oh, there we go. Expired. Canceled. Current. So he's current on his guard card. Canceled on his firearm permit. Uh-oh, hot dog. Expired on his baton permit. Didn't get recertified. Uh-oh, hot dog. This officially calls for a... That's never going to get old. That's never going to get old. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Yeah. I didn't see this live. If somebody can put a link to this or a clip, send me a clip in my email. I will. Oh, are we talking? I have to see. Yeah, send me a clip because I did see a clip and I'm trying to remember who it's from. And I recognize some people from that clip. Was it Confidence Chris who was showing the guys who were putting up the, here's a rib guy, the stakes in the ground, the mesh tech, or was it Yes. Shout out to John Shamwowski for sending me this. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Appreciate you so much. It was Confidence Chris. Okay, let me pull up Chris's stream here. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, they were doing. Oh, there they go. Is this the one? Let's see where they're doing the mesh tech. Okay. So some of these guys in this mesh tech video, here we go. So I'm gonna pull up.
A day? $10,000 water bill a day? Get the hell out of here.
Guys, that's not a shocker to me. $10,000 a day water bill. The sign out front that is finally LED. That sign used to cost, when it was light bulbs, $5,000 a week to light it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back tomorrow.
I don't see the whole thing.
Okay, so these guys here, this is RPFers. Let me see if I now this guy right here. I was over there. That's Alejandro. I was on the RPF with him.
Boys, don't get me away.
November 2002. I cannot believe he's still on the RPF, or he's back on the RPF.
Come on, you guys can do something else with your life. I'm serious. I know
This is Alejandro. He's a very sweet man. I don't know why he's still there. Is
You
here.
guys never had this happen before. Oh look, they're coming. They're coming for X. Just come this way.
Trying to see if they come back at some point, or if there's nothing.
They're probably just
earlier in
gonna
the
drive
stream.
right inside of Scientology.
Here we go. This is earlier in the stream. So let me see if I recognize any of these guys. That's Alejandro right there. That's Alejandro. This, I don't know who it is.
It's okay to leave the Sea Org too. The SPTV Foundation and the
This guy. I don't know.
Aftermath Foundation can help you leave the Sea Org if you want to leave. And you no longer have to do your billion-year contract. Because like normal religions, right? They don't disconnect people from their families and such.
Yeah, normal religions, you go in, they give you a free Bible. Now with Scientology, you have to pay for their Dianetic.
Every level in Scientology you have to pay for, so
I'm trying to see who that is.
Scientology looks down on homeless people too.
Hey Cynthia, what did you say? What did you say?
And freeloader debt is also not real. You could just leave Scientology whenever you want. The easiest way out is through the nearest door.
But they're
I can
still
see
wearing
that,
the
guys.
they just changed it up. Instead, they wear gray
Yeah.
pants now, a black shirt. When I was in, we wore a black
We're
We're
pants
not
and a
doing
gray shirt.
anything.
You can put some milk crates under the plastic and then put the
I can
cans
stay here.
out.
This is a public easement here.
Or a pallet.
You need light, I'll help you
Remember,
out.
this is public.
Chris turned on the light for them. So they're playing L. Ron Hubbard lecture.
Hey.
Hey, if these stapled his fingers, they don't believe in healthcare. So
Yeah.
they can't do anything.
No,
They
if that guy had stapled his
Yeah, you
fingers
guys
right there, you would just
might
keep
want
working.
to be careful.
You would literally just keep working.
You really gonna put it one by one. Oh my god.
This grass is public.
Good job, Solomon.
Turn, darling, go back
What is this?
into the campsite. They'll arrest you in the grass. This is public. They're not gonna arrest me.
We're gonna remove it tomorrow.
Will they even arrest me? Here, look.
No.
No, they can't. But yeah,
What's up?
I know this is not live.
And they're all saying that DOA is telling me to go back.
Oh, DOA's here. DOA.
Until he tells me to move, I'll move.
So every time I talk, the video volume goes away. That's because I'm priority over any other sound.
With the fucking code. We work for them. I work for them? We sure do. Subcontract. Am I? That's right, you are. You know who you are. You're fucking sneaky too. It's public, buddy. It's public.
Public easement.
It's public.
See, now they didn't issue Danny a
Man, these people are trying to
TRO for doing that, for taking the stakes out and saying it's public, right? They gave him a TRO for a completely other thing. Yeah, the hole and the RPF are two completely different things. You are correct. 2 sandwiches tall. The hole was the pair of double wide trailers in the 2000s on Gold Base that houses, it wasn't the RPF. It was just senior executives. They were on something worse than the RPF. Okay. So this incident here just shows me, oh, I got my cord in my glasses, guys. Excuse me. Tech malfunction. This incident here just shows me that the RPF is still alive and well, even though they said they canceled it. So that's, of course, a lie. And furthermore, hi, bud. I'm live. Yeah. Okay. Do what you got to do, teens. Okay. Tells me that not only is the RPF live and well, but they will be the ones that will be absolute cannon fodder for the protesters because they are throwaway people. So what I would say is if you are encountering people who are not well dressed, dressed out of style by several years, or in that black garb, those are most likely RPFers who are being sent to infiltrate and trying to do that. So the man that I recognize, we'll go back a little bit here. This, not that guy. I don't know who that guy is. Let's just get it forward here.
600 people out here. We got the wooden blocks, so we could run. It's like we're playing the battlefield. Free the tent. Free the tent.
So these guys here, these are RPFers, and there was a man with them.
While you're at it,
Yeah,
put some underglow. Put some underglow.
Who's on light duty at the flashlight?
Put some underglow.
Not something else. In the state of California.
Well, not only that, but
I'm so happy.
Because like
This man right here, this is Alejandro. I don't remember his last name, but we were on the RPF together. And
normal religions, right? They don't disconnect.
I can't remember if it was him or his twin lost part of a finger on the table saw in the mill. It might have been Ali. I mean, a lot of accidents with the table saw. That's a building that faces the parking lot, the mill. That was a fun place to work when you're on the RPF. You got to make stuff. You could see your products right away. It was kind of relaxing. Also terrifying. The equipment there is very
People
old.
from their families and such.
in normal religions, you go in, they give you a free Bible. Now at Scientology, you have to pay for their Dianetic.
Yeah, I don't know who the other two gentlemen are. And if I do, I'm not recalling. Oh, yeah. That was, of course, his fault. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Liz. Hey, girlfriend. Thank you for being here. Is there anything anyone can do to help Alejandro? What I would say, if you want to help Alejandro and you're fluent in Spanish, speak to him in Spanish about and ask him about the town that he came from in Mexico. I know he misses Mexico. We used to talk about it all the time and his abuela's cooking and things like that. Yeah. You have to talk to people about things that are going to make them remember a stream of things and get them thinking and get them starting to walk out, you know? Why did the police just drive by on like that when they were doing is not legal? They don't own that side because they don't care. As long as nobody's getting stabbed with those stakes, they don't care. Yeah. So I feel like, I know if Chris had known, he would have done that. And I wish that he would have. I wish that he would have started talking to Alejandro in Spanish. And had I seen this actually live, I would have told Chris to do that in the chat. I would have told him his name and said, hey, tell Ale that Nora says hi. This is true. Pulling those stakes out didn't help at all. All it did was make them work even more as slaves. Correct. They would just get punished, made to run those laps that I told you about in the undergrounds. And they better do it better so that it doesn't get taken out. Everything that's happening is because of them. All the protests are because of them. Every piece of negative press is because of them, because they're not on their posts clearing the planet. So, yeah. Let me get to some of these starred comments. And I do agree. That would be a great resource, Zebra 911, to have a list of all the people we've identified in these videos. That would be amazing. So we could reach out to them. The mill might have been where you saw the help sign, or it might have been a birthing. I'd have to rewatch that video. All right. Cassandra Rayners, thank you for becoming a member. That's awesome stuff. And there are memberships available if y'all want them too. You'll clap when I'm gone. Also a member. Thank you so much. And gifted 1 membership. Holy cannolis. Thank you. Thank you for that. Christian B, I need to support you supporting Aaron. Love. Thank you so much for that, Christian. It was my pleasure. And I would do it again. Sue B, sorry. Does it matter? Oh, right. Does it matter to you? Not to me. 46. Okay. We did find Rib Guy. Marilee gifted 5 memberships. If you got a gifted membership today, please thank You'll Clap When I'm Gone, Marilee, and Ms. Otter, who also gifted a membership. Max's mom is a new member. Thank you so much. Peekaboo says, this movement is big enough for everyone as long as your intentions are good. This is an organically growing movement that will have wrinkles. How we all handle it will dictate the outcome. Yes, 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 yes. Mic drop. Yes. Thank you for that, Peekaboo. That was eloquently stated. Asen, Mitch is hella, quote, confused. He is busy telling everyone how much special treatment he got. And at the same time, he felt insulted when Aaron said your experience was different than ours. Yeah. Yeah. Very true, Asen. Cricket Cinema, thanks for being a member. I appreciate seeing the love you showed your friend when he needed you. Modeling empathy as well. Very special. Thank you. Yeah. I'm really trying that new empathy thing out, guys. And hopefully it's going well. Max's mom wants to know, what are your thoughts that they are repair? Oh, I did that. Stinky Cat, there are dog kennels back there. The neighbors complain about the barking. They do have a security bomb dog, guys. They usually have trained Alsatians that are trained in atake and sometimes bomb sniffing, but mostly atake. Yeah. Yes. And thank you, Mandy Me. Parker Osman did get that in there. Oh my goodness, guys. Yeah. I still don't have any response from Laura. I'm going to be 100%. I haven't heard anything from anybody else in regards to what is going on. So if I do find out what is going on, and Rib Guy's still live, showing off the whole thing here. Let me put that up. Okay. Here's the latest. He's got his camera across the street now. Okay. And his chat is just talking about a whole bunch of stuff. Right. The encampment is still alive and well. It's still up. Okay. People are haunting because they know it's a cult. Okay. So as far as I can tell, guys, everything is still there. Everything's in place. It's not gone, right? It's not dead. They haven't undone it. You know, and who is Rib Guy? I don't know, actually. He's just known as Rib Guy. It's making them ribs. How much for a plate of ribs? Sorry, I went into full Chris Rock mode from the 90s. Yeah. So I think what we need to know here in vignette, guys, the point is this. Number one, Scientology is ramping up. And by ramping up, I mean they are preparing for what they are considering war between them and the Scientologists. Okay. The ex-Scientologists, rather. And they are trying to prepare their members to get more protesters in trouble. So be ready, protesters, for randos who suddenly want to take pictures with you, who want to get really close to you to talk to you about secrets, who want to do all these things. Keep your distance. Keep filming. Don't ever stop filming. Okay, even if you say, "Oh, I'm turning my camera off," have another camera on. Okay, have another camera on. Have a backup. Have something. Have a GoPro. Have spy glasses. Have something recording at all times, audio and video. Okay, because it is imperative that we keep showing the receipts of what is actually going on. That's how Michael's case basically got tossed out. That's how eventually DOA's and Danny's cases are going to get tossed as well, because once a judge sees the video evidence in contrast with what Scientology is claiming, they're going to be like, this is more Scientological nonsense. Okay. Yes, I know that the convoy is prepping for dinner. I'm talking about what Scientology is prepping for. Two different preps. Okay. So yes, Hollywood Aja has like an 8th sense about what is going on with people. And she is very savvy. Uh-oh. Oh my God, guys, I just got a small piece of breaking news that I have to share with you. Okay. So baby reindeer has now reached back out. Okay. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, please hold. Please hold. I've got her stupid blog up here. Oh, she put me in her blog, guys. Oh, I'm so, look at me. Look how cute I am. Guys, I'm adorbs. This is breaking news, guys. I didn't know this just happened. Here we go. Baby reindeer strikes back. There's me, not having lunch, supporting my friend of 30 years. And her title is interesting. I have not read this, guys. I just found out. Hang on, I have to respond to our group chat with this. There we go. No, just post it to the... Okay, so here we go. Let me get back to this. I just had to clue the group in. So she's going to respond with what she wrote to do. So this is what she wrote. Hi. I have to get close to my other computer, guys, because this is teeny tiny. Oh, let me reverse these. Okay. My name is Stephanie Hutchinson, and I'm a writer and blogger currently working on an article, and I'm in need of verifying some information. In May of 2023, there was an altercation between a student of yours, Aaron Smith-Levin, and a young woman in Los Angeles. During this incident, the young woman, half Aaron's size, was attempting to hold his arm to get him to stop and listen to her. Ultimately, he grabs her arm and flings her into a concrete wall. That is not what happened. That is not what happened. She crumples to the ground, unmoving for several seconds while bleeding from her head. Aaron turns and walks away from her, leaving her injured on the sidewalk. Also not exactly what happened. He has, over the years, commented about being a student at your martial arts school. I'm trying to ascertain whether jiu-jitsu training includes any sort of ethics or combat avoidance. I would also like to know whether Aaron Smith-Levin's claim of having earned a blue belt with 4 stripes is correct. Does Gracie Jiu-Jitsu not provide any training concerning smaller, weaker people? Any information you may be able to provide before I add it to my article will be greatly appreciated, and I look forward to hearing from you concerning this matter. Sincerely, Stephanie Hutchison. And then there's her email, guys, azaleen@yahoo.com, because she's still rocking Yahoo. She's still rocking Yahoo. Note, Aaron and the young woman come into frame in the upper left. Oh, she sent him the video. They are the couple walking from the street onto the sidewalk. Also, it's important to note that according to Aaron, this young woman was struggling with mental health episode at the time of this interaction. He'd hooked up with her 3 times at his hotel, so this is not a random stranger. What in the actual fuck, Stephanie? Who cares? Like, and then she's going to put this on a public blog. Yes, I did contact your gym, stalking you, not just through the internets. But like, let me just defame you and send this video, which, by the way, guys, you cannot tell if it's Aaron or somebody else. My initial contact. Aaron. Hello, Stephanie. This is John Keller, owner of Gracie Barra in Clearwater. I became owner 3 years ago. And in that time, I don't think I ever seen Aaron come to our school. Aaron did get a blue belt from previous owner many, many years ago, but pretty much stopped training after that. The incident in the video has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. As far as the jiu-jitsu I teach, 100% teach jiu-jitsu that's meant to protect smaller people. My students learn how to protect themselves without hurting anyone. They learn to never attack, which Aaron did not do in that video. We also offer an amazing women's self-defense class that teaches women how to protect themselves against someone bigger and stronger. I can't speak much for Aaron because I don't even know when the last time he was that he came to a class here was, and I'm not in contact with the instructor that gave him his blue belt. But again, Aaron getting a blue belt has nothing to do with what he did in the video. With that being said, now that I'm aware of this incident, I will not allow Aaron to train at my school if he ever decided to come back. I'd be happy to meet in person if you'd like to talk more. I put so much time into creating a safe environment at my school. I don't want your article to make it sound like the current owner and students at Gracie Barra Clearwater have anything to do with Aaron or what he did. You can see from our Google reviews how much this school has improved since I became owner. Please let me know your thoughts. So then she says, Dear John, it's absolutely not my intention to paint your business in any negative light. This is why I wanted to reach out to you before I wrote anything at all about Aaron's training. Aaron stated that March 4th. So then she's again contacting him. That answer wasn't good enough for her. So she posts the videos where he talks about training at the school. He also states he wants to compete. As you've stated, Aaron hasn't been at the school in 3 years. You've owned the business. I will state that along with your teaching on ethics. I will be clear that Smith-Levin has no affiliation with your school. You may wish to change the photos on your website, however, because there is a photo that looks like it has Aaron in it. So then she shows this picture here on the website. I'd have to blow it up here, please. My cursor won't move. My mouse won't move over. Please hold one moment. I don't see Aaron. Oh, this is supposedly Aaron here. Okay. Wow, Stalkerazzi. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how little Aaron is trained here, especially since I took over. I think he might be overstating his training a little bit after looking at your screenshot of this YouTube, because he doesn't want people online to think he quit jiu-jitsu. It's possible he came in for a class since I took over, but I really have to think about it. That's how little I've seen him. He got his blue belt from 2 previous owners ago. That's how removed he is from me. And thank you for sending me the picture of the website. Although that does look like Aaron, that's actually one of my coaches. I'll attach a picture for you. It's this guy. If you mentioned jiu-jitsu in your article, I'd really appreciate it if you didn't mention the name of the school if possible. I could show you a picture of Aaron to all my students, and I don't think anyone would even know who he is. That's how far removed he is. I teach very differently from any school in the area. When I took over, I removed the previous owner and coaches. It's taken me so long to get to this point, and our school is such a positive and uplifting place. I would hate for something negative to be placed on it because of something Aaron did that I did not know about until now. Again, now that I have seen the video, if Aaron ever decides to train again, he is not our student and is not welcome back. This jiu-jitsu school is so important to me and how I provide for my family. We have wonderful 3-year-old son. I'd love for you to come by and see how great our classes are. See the attached picture of the coach that's in the website photo. Thank you for being open to talking with me. Okay, so it's just a bald guy with a beard, guys. She sees Aaron everywhere. She sees Aaron everywhere. So then she writes back. I will respect your desire not to have your school name mentioned, although you should know the reason I knew to contact you was because Aaron said which school he went to. However, I will not identify you. I appreciate you responding to me. Please know this is about Aaron and his actions, and that is my focus. Keep up the good work. He says, thank you. You did not threaten me. There's a missing email here. She didn't open this one. There's a missing one. We have a missing email, guys. You did not threaten me. It seemed like you were going to write an article about his jiu-jitsu training, and I was worried you would mention the school name. So that's why I wanted you to know that he doesn't actually train with us anymore and hasn't for years. I and the jiu-jitsu school have nothing to do with Aaron, especially have nothing to do with whatever trouble he's getting into. I would like not to be involved in either side of this. Because she wrote back, I would love to know what she wrote back on Sunday. I guess it's this one. These are just her screenshots. And then today, he just dropped this. Just today. This is so bad, guys. But thanks for putting me on the cover, Steph. Let's do something here. We're going to go, if guys still live, we are going to go here. Please hold, everybody. Here, buddy. And we're going to go. Oh, we can watch it on my channel. I was going to go to AA Ron's channel, but we'll go to mine. And we're going to go to the video. I'm going to fast forward here for a second. Any magazines. So I'm going to show you the celebrity magazine completion section. The Asho
in covering up Miriam Francis's. I've been accusing others of covering up crime last year. When I was in of the surveillance video shows a giant man who's trained.
Know what jujitsu is.
Right.
To talk about it this way.
Right. Okay. So those who watched the video wanted to know if Aaron had employed his martial arts training against the upset woman he had previously spent 3 nights with in his hotel room. Others, including myself, wondered if jiu-jitsu taught avoidance tactics or gentler ways of controlling such a situation. No, jiu-jitsu teaches you to break arms, break legs, and choke people unconscious. You stupid psycho. Okay? All right. It doesn't teach you how to throw. That's judo. You fucking idiot. Okay. Anything rather than tossing someone into a wall. Many U.S. states have laws surrounding the use of boxing tactics and or martial arts training during situations that arise, such as the one seen in the now infamous video. Don't give yourself too much credit there.
Yeah.
Reaching out. We received a comprehensive statement from the place Aaron was originally granted his blue belt. In response to her video post, people question whether the video shows me attacking someone or someone attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie decides to contact my jiu-jitsu gym, a company that has nothing to do with anything, a privately owned small jiu-jitsu school.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, baby reindeer psycho, reaches out to find out whether jiu-jitsu teaches aggression or passive avoidance.
No, that's not reaching out. This is paparazzi.
Yeah, just wait, guys. Just wait. A blue belt is the second belt in adult jiu-jitsu after the beginner. Stephanie threatened him and harassed him into making statements, distancing himself from me for fear that she was going to name him in an article associating him with my attack on a woman. Now, Stephanie in her article says they requested to be anonymous. Yes, but you threatened to name them in an article, which is why he said anything to you at all to make you go away. And he did not know he was being quoted. He did not know that Stephanie was going to use his words in the article.
No.
He was trying to get this psycho stalker to leave him and his business out of it. And I'm going to show you the messages. Okay. So, okay, by the way, some people might be going, how in the hell does Stephanie know where you train jujitsu? A group of people learn. They were actually there to a lot of them seem to take joy in hurting new students. And to be honest, I was one of those new students that they took joy in hurting. And meaning just because I was a new student, not because of anything to do with me.
Right.
And it's not a healthy way to train jujitsu. Jujitsu is a young man's game. But it's also some of the best exercise you could ever get. It's unbelievably, it's insane. Like, it's just, there's nothing like it. And John Keller wanted to build a gym that was family friendly, kid friendly, welcomed new people. He wanted to build it into a successful thing, not a place where trained killers come to abuse the new students. Okay.
So he took it from like Cobra Kai to like, Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, that's exactly what he did. And so what you have is this psychopathic, obsessed stalker preying on a kind, gentle guy who just wants to build a school to help people. Like, the camaraderie in jujitsu is second to none. I mean, I'm sure it's like the softball leagues that, guys do for some reason, and I've never had any interest in that, but like, I imagine the camaraderie is similar. And so imagine you have this psychopathic stalker calling you up and threatening to name you and your gym in an article about someone who hasn't even walked through the doors of your school in 15 months.
Right.
I haven't even been I've been paying my $120 monthly dues every month anyway, because in my heart of hearts, I know that if I stop paying, I'll never go back. But if I keep paying, one day I'll go back. Okay.
Right.
Imagine his position of basically being threatened and harassed and intimidated by this fucking psycho. Of course, he's going to distance himself from me and what Stephanie claimed I had done, which was horrifically abuse this tiny little woman on the streets of LA in the middle of a Thursday morning, or the early Thursday morning. Okay.
But I do want to just say one thing here real quickly, Aaron, that this is very serious, because this is where the fourth wall is getting broken in a very vulnerable and like you've said many times, psychopathic way, because this is an environment that you found after leaving Scientology, after, starting to deprogram yourself, where you found purpose, you found joy, you found a community. And as recovering people, survivors of cults, that is so hard for us. It is so hard for us to trust anybody, to be like, oh, these people are really my friends. Like, I'm safe here. I'm not going to get asked to, no one's going to lock the door. Like, I have autonomy. And you had that with John and with this dojo. And
it's not a dojo. It's not a dojo.
A gym. Yeah. But she just, shat all over it. And
that's right.
It is a violation of you and that space that was yours. And it's not just her calling some random business owner that you're homies with and you guys go get a beer at the pub. This is a violation of your safe space. And it is so egregious and so beyond like a mild disagreement with you on the internet that it is dangerous. Like, this is now, in my personal opinion, she is dangerous to all of us, not just to you, but to you in particularly right now, but she is dangerous to do that. And I want to say that, I'm so proud, again, so proud of you for sharing that vulnerability here, because, you have always done nothing but build up other people. You built me up, everybody in the SPTV community, but also real people, I'm not like I'm not real, but like the people you go to places to frequent, the pubs, the restaurants, the places in Clearwater that like wouldn't make it if people like you weren't like, hey, you should go eat at Bob's. It's awesome. I love it. Their fries are the best. Or like, this gym is the best. It saved me. I love it. It's great. So that's how every small business survives, is somebody telling more people about it. And that's all you've ever done. And she's trying to literally come in there in the dead of night and strip that from you. And it's gross. It's
That's right.
absolutely grotesque. Okay. So I just wanted to replay that one part there, because this was the second time in the article yesterday where she had violated Aaron's privacy, his personal life, his very kind of being. That's the way I would describe it. When I jumped on that live yesterday, if you hadn't seen it on Aaron's channel, which we can go to, at the very beginning, he was trying to read her article. Okay. And Stephanie grotesquely.
And the name of the episode was Auditing.
This is where I jumped in, because I was at home watching.
You're starting with your hatred and you're backfilling whatever you can. Okay. So whereas now, do you know who would have been a master of TRL? Not the low-level nobody Scientologist like me, who was never in the Office of Special Affairs, but the guy who ran the Office of Special Affairs, the guy whose job it was to destroy people's lives in Scientology for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever the hell it was. That is Stephanie Hutchinson's Lord and Savior, Mike Rinder. That's all I'm saying. I never even did TRL. To be perfectly honest, I'd never even heard of it until after I left Scientology, and people who'd worked in OSA actually told me that this thing existed, and I was shocked. Not shocked that OSA people would lie. Of course they lie. All Scientologists lie when it comes to answering questions publicly about Scientology. I just didn't know there was actually a communication drill about it. I was genuinely surprised when I found that out. Okay. We were first introduced to Aaron. When we were first introduced to Aaron, it was through Leah Remini's award-winning show on A&E. Now, I don't know who we is, because I started my YouTube channel long before there was a TV show. But maybe Stephanie's just referring to the royal we. Stephanie Hutchison was first introduced to me through Leah Remini's TV show. Here in the season 1 episode titled
I just wanted to show this for just a second. Okay.
Just give me a sec. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me a sec.
I did not know what was happening. I was trying to make my lunch, and I noticed that the TV went quiet.
Okay.
And then I ran to my phone and I started texting him.
It's hard for me to do anything that involves talking about my brother. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to try. All right.
That was about a minute, guys, before I hopped in and started doing that live with Aaron. And let me just say this. I knew Aaron when Colin was alive. And after. And to bring up, although it's discussed in the episode, and if you've ever seen the episode, you also see how incredibly upsetting and soul-crushing it is for him to even mention his brother. And for her to weaponize that is so beyond the pale, beyond reproach for me. Is just disgusting. And I discussed that with Rabbit this morning, where she said very astutely that in Scientology, there is no below the belt because there is no belt. There is no belt. The belt is not real. The belt is a lie. And you are all correct. This is emotional warfare. You know, and it is horrific that she is trying her very hardest to take down somebody who, in my opinion, the majority of their work, 99.999% of the things that Aaron has done have been positive, have been proactive in the anti-Scientology world. Okay. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, this stupid other troll channels, like they painted me as an adorable little bulldog with glasses, guys. Adorbs. I love. Thank you. I feel like whenever you come to the defense of somebody who you know and love very dearly, and you do that repeatedly because they're being repeatedly attacked, it's easy to paint that as, you know, being aggressive, being, you know, flippant about that. But I would do the same for any single one of my friends, even people that I don't innately agree with about everything, or even if I have an upset with that person. Okay. I'm going to throw an example out there because, you know, it's been talked about, but Liz Ferris and I, we had a personal falling out. I thought I handled it privately. It became public. Now it's private again. Okay. But we'll just take that as an example. If Liz Ferris were to have Stephanie write an article about her in the same way that she's been writing about Aaron, 1,000,000% I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. Because that is what's right. My personal grievance, upset, disagreement, whatever it wants to be characterized as, with an individual with whom I'm on the same team with, means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Okay. If I can't set aside my personal ego in times of need to help that person, that is my own personal mores. That is my own personal way of doing it. There is a 0% chance that even if I feel deflated by a certain thing, that I am going to then abandon them as a human being in this fight. Okay. So it pains me to see Aaron being attacked day after day after day. And he's been getting attacked now for like 5 years straight. And he takes it all in stride, guys. Much better stride than I ever did on being personally attacked. You know, I agree with you There is so much chaos happening now with the protesters' YouTube channels and this psycho Stephanie. Let's focus on the goal. Correct. Because someone else earlier, where is this? Boom. Yes, Max's mom. She's doing this to keep the narrative off Mike Render's crimes. It's so disgusting. Yes, she absolutely is. Because, let me just get to the rest of these. There's a few more starred comments that came in, but I'm gonna put a pause on that. Oh, well, I have a couple super chats. Oh my goodness, you guys, I didn't even see this. Better together. Does anyone else feel like the Garage Glow Up opened up a new portal in SPTV universe and the tides are turning the currents into floods? I think so. Thank you. Thank you for crediting me on that. And another super chat, Better together. Touch assist, all the things. Yes, please like, please subscribe, all of those things. This is called triangulation and is a manipulation tactic. I'm gonna have to Google that and find out some more information because I love that name, but I need to find out more about that. But thank you for letting me know. Blake is in the house. She should be charged with libel and defamation and with criminal intent to blackmail a business owner. Yes. And she's providing all the receipts. So thanks for that, Steph. KD7, thanks for the super sticker. Oh, also another one. ZDT is getting paid by somebody. I agree. And I love your little Mario next to the oil barrel. That's fantastic. Blake Reed, thank you for the super sticker and for being a member. I cannot stress enough how absurdly deplorable she is for bringing Colin up. Anyone who knows Aaron knows just how proud Aaron was to be his brother. Colin is the one person he always thinks about lovingly and painfully. Yes. And I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Losing a sibling is unthinkable. Losing a twin, scientifically, biologically, that impact is so traumatic and so huge. It is impossible to describe in words. Asen, no matter how much Mike Rinder sends attacks to Aaron's way, he can't change the facts. Aaron gave him a job. Aaron co-founded the Aftermath Foundation with Luis Garcia. Aaron helped raise $20K for his treatment. Nothing can change that. Correct. Those are all facts, Mike Rinder. Like, we all know this. We all know this. We know this. So let me get to what I was going to bring up earlier, which kind of sprung this all into action. So for those of you who are not following my own personal hero, and I'm going to bring her up here. Oh my goodness, where'd you guys go? There you are. Miss Miriam Francis, aka Rage Against the Dark Arts, at Against the Dark Art. Please give her a subscribe. I really hope she comes out with some more videos, but her community posts lately have been bangers. They've been bangers. So yesterday, let's go back. Let's go back because Miriam has been bringing the receipts against Mike. Okay. So she had a few things to say about her article. Okay. And this is the main reason that Stephanie's clapping back, because every time Miriam stands up for herself, rightly so, because Mike Rinder done messed up. Okay. Miriam lets everybody know. So when that article came out, she says, Stephanie Hutchinson, you don't know shit. Chris Francis, that's her dad, was never demoted. He maintained his position in the gold rep office. Let me take that back. He was her sperm donor. He was not her father, because a father doesn't do what he did. So let's get that straight. In 1998, he was transferred from the LA Gold Rep office to the UK Gold Rep office after his crimes were known by Scientology's international management. And then later, when his being at St. Hill, UK, posed a risk to David Miscavige, who was arriving for the IAS event, Chris Francis was transferred back to the LA Gold Rep office. These relocations were managed by OSA. You heard that correctly, guys. If David Miscavige feels like someone is not the vibe, they're gone. To the point of, when I was on training at the Mecca of Technical Perfection flag back in the year of our Lord 1996, we were drilling our entrance for the event, the big event. The word clearers were all going to march down these stairs and then stand and salute while the senior CSs walked into this conference. Okay. So we're all standing there waiting, and I'm on the third step up from the bottom. Okay. I got good position. Primo position. And who should appear around the corner but Sir Pompadour himself, David Miscavige, tiny feet and all, comes walking up, surrounded by a trove of hired private security. They were not Sea Org members, guys. I want to emphasize that. Not Sea Org members. And the guy who is the head word clear walks right up to him. Hello, sir. It's very great to meet you. We are the word clearers. And I was like, oh my God, what? He does not want to talk to you. Okay. Like, stop. And so he's like, oh, what's all this? What's going on? And he's like, oh, well, we are the word clearers and we're going to do this entrance and we're going to stand and boop. And then it explains the whole thing. He's like, okay, I'll check it out. And he was like, oh my God. So he walks up and he sees me. And I look at him and I say, hi, sir. He's like, hello. And then he turns away from me, takes 2 steps past me to the young German kid who was behind me, who's also word clear. The German kid sneezed. Just a quick sneeze. COB stopped dead in his tracks. Okay. Dave Miscavige stops dead in his tracks, like, looks at this kid, looks at the big security guard, looks forward and walks away in silence. Before we can say bless you to this kid, that security guard grabs that kid's arm and is like, you're leaving, you're out. And the kid was like, what? What? Why do I have to? I was picked to be here. It's like, you're out. You're PTS. Can't bring your PTSness around COB. He got so many sec checks, guys. So many sec checks. Because he sneezed next to COB. Okay. Yeah, I was going to sign off a little bit ago. Lady Pamela, you're correct. But then this breaking news happened. So I'm just giving some context. Sorry, I always have too many stories. This should be 14 lives. Anyway, moving on. So that's why COB decides who's, where, when, and it gets done immediately. To support this, I'll be pulling out my notes from conversation with Mike Rinder from January of this year, in which he repeatedly stated that OSA was involved in this cover-up. Which begs the question, why didn't Mike Rinder say any of this during my LAPD police statement, which he attended in 2017? Why did he wait until after the 2023 window had closed in California for a civil case to cover up of child sexual abuse by an organization, even though he's on the board of Child USA specializing in this specifically? I wonder why. I wonder why. Mike Rinder was the head of OSA and the boss of the external security chief mentioned in this conversation. Mike Rinder's own personal OSA documents demonstrate that he had direct control over the external security chief OSA, and shows the types of information that he was privy to, which would have included the very high-risk problem of harboring and relocating a pedophile across international borders, and the continued effort by OSA to monitor and manage that risk. I will be doing future videos pulling out those documents, and everyone will see what Mike Rinder's actual level of knowledge and involvement was of OSA activities, including during the time period he was in the hole. I prepared my questions based on the knowledge that I had at the time, and I wrote these notes during and directly following the conversation with Mike Rinder. I sent them to several people at that time and included them in a report to law enforcement to preserve the notes as they were written then. I don't intend for them to be evidence on their own, but this is a true account, and I offer it now for public review and discussion. I wish to emphasize that the questions I asked Mike Rinder were based on the knowledge and information that I had at that time. And following that, I obtained much more information including 2 witness statements detailing Scientology's internal knowledge and handling of the perpetrator, Chris Francis. This conversation with Mike Rinder also prompted me to do considerable research into other cases, and I will continue to share what I learned as a result, as time and personal priorities allow. Realize Miriam is also a single mom who's raising kids on her own, trying to survive in this world, trying to recover from her trauma on her own in Australia. She's one of the strongest people that I know. Okay. Throughout this conversation with Mike Rinder, he named several positions and people who would have knowledge or involvement. But in his OSA documents, his personal communications, it shows that Mike Rinder, he is the one being reported to and CC'd on everything. But he didn't know anything, guys. He didn't know. He wasn't sure. He didn't hear about it. Wasn't him. Wasn't me. Shaggy. It shows him giving orders and creating programs on how to obtain information, directing operations, and managing legal risks. He was being sent reports of monitoring staff situations. He was being alerted and informed. He was responsible for managing the risk to David Miscavige. He was responsible for managing the risks to Scientology. Matters for OSA concern were reported up the line to Mike Rinder or down from RTC to Mike Rinder. All roads lead to Mike. All roads lead to Mike. It shows him giving orders and all of that will be detailed extensively and exposed. These conversation notes represent just one piece. And if they do not represent the whole body of information, which I have, I would like to highlight Mike Rinder's contradiction at the end of the conversation when he attempted to cover his tracks. Tony Strawn was not during the time of the Guardian's office. He was convicted in 1995 for heinous crimes he committed in 1994 against 2 children. The Office of Special Affairs was formally organized in 1984. I later read the court testimony in which the victim's mother specifically stated that it was OSA who tried to prevent her from reporting to authorities. I wonder who was in charge. Could it be Mike Rinder? She stated that it was Ken Long from OSA, who, by the way, I was on the RPF with, and he's graduated and back on post at OSA, who, by the way, worked under the direction of who? Mike Rinder. Again, I will have more videos to cover this relationship in detail when I can. I'm hoping that sharing this now will support the correction of the personally offensive falsehood created by Stephanie Hutchinson, who doesn't know shit. So this is an excerpt from the article she wrote about Aaron. For some reason, she had to put Miriam's name in there because Mike apparently can't have anything written about Aaron or anybody else that doesn't include Miriam Francis. Had Mike Rinder been notified of the staff change, the note most likely would have simply stated Chris Francis reassigned to XYZ position. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Okay. So then yesterday, these are the notes. Okay. Before 1996 and 2001, these are the questions that she asked Mike. Were you ever involved in the cover-up of sexual assault crimes? Not that I recall. This was not something that ever came to me directly as the head of OSA. A lie. I know of a case, Dick Hubbard, which was for inappropriate sexual conduct. I don't have a lot of details. I heard about it subsequently. Like he was just hanging around the water cooler like, ooh, Dick Hubbard did what? No, disgust. Oh, gross. This type of thing was not on my radar. I didn't really care about crimes being committed on children. Like, yeah, not my thing. Tony Strawn case was during the time of the Guardian's office. Miriam just dismantled the shit out of that because the Guardian's office had been gone for over a decade. So yeah, not facts. I have to go back because I clicked on it. Then she asked, when someone's leaving the Sea Org, their files are reviewed to check for any legal risk to the organization. And if there are any, the person's required to sign binding documents before they're allowed to leave. This is true. Who would deal with this? Who would deal with those documents and culling people's information. The legal department of OSA would be assigned to an administrative person and then given to a lawyer to review, such as Bill Dresser, RIP, Kendrick Moxon, Helena Cobran, or Lori Bartleson. The mom, Lori Bartleson, who's momsies of Lindsay Bartleson, who's the co-owner of the Scientology mission in Hollywood, Los Feliz mission, along with everybody's favorite guy from The Sandlot, Patrick Renna. Oh, this conversation between Mike Rinder and I took place over 2 calls via WhatsApp, 8:14 p.m. Friday, 5th of January, 2024. The purpose of this conversation was to obtain information related to the cover-up by the Church of Scientology of sexual crimes committed against me as a child, information which Mike Rinder could provide due to his role as the head of the Office of Special Affairs, as well as being on the board of directors for Scientology. In correlating time period that I and the perpetrator were employed there. The following are the questions in bold that I asked Mike Rinder. Below are the answers which he provided in response. Immediately following the conversation, handwritten notes that I took during the conversation. Okay, so those are the questions. Now, then, Stephanie writes this thing. Now, what happened today? Well, she also wrote another retort back to her, which is important for the record. Okay. I want to just read Miriam's statement here out loud. Stephanie Hutchinson, you are a deplorable, vicious, and disgusting person. How dare you minimize the harm that was done to me? I was not, quote, molested, as you so casually put it. I experienced severe sexual battery on multiple counts. Oh, sorry, trigger warning, everyone. From 3 years old to 8 years old that I woke up to in the night, had no power to fight back, and so I would black out to escape what was happening to me. I never got the chance to fight back because I was too little and I was so scared and I couldn't move. As I grew up, everyone who knew and could have done something about it smiled and talked about it like it was nothing, as though it were their own inside joke to enjoy, including my own mother. Exactly how you see it when John Atack and Mike Rinder talk about it. Exactly how you wrote about it, like it was nothing. It was covered up at every level of Scientology management. Do you know what that feels like? To have an army of people protecting the person who took a part of you that you will never get back? The perpetrator himself said in a recorded police evidence that it was so well known, quote unquote, in Scientology, and that he kept waiting for consequences that never came. In a video recorded police interview, he described in detail what he did to me, starting from 3 years old, and yet still no consequences. There has been no justice, despite fighting for it since I was 16 years old, no justice in Scientology, and no justice outside of Scientology. Every day, people like my father get away with it because people like you let them. You water it down. You minimize it. You make excuses for those who knew and did nothing. You make it okay. Preventing justice for Scientology's victims is Mike Rinder's legacy. I want to repeat that for the people in the back. Preventing justice for Scientology's victims is Mike Rinder's legacy. No matter the praise laden on him by many mainstream media, no matter the forgiveness pardoned to him by people who were never affected by his actions, for every crime that he has allowed the statute of limitations to run out, the damage he has caused is irreversible. Stephanie, if you want part of Mike Rinder's legacy so badly, you can have it. It is what you will be known for. She's 100% correct. And then she got this amazing letter. Someone who she's redacted their name wrote to Child USA. And I would suggest that everyone copy and paste this letter and send it along to Professor Marcy Hamilton, Child USA, 3508 Market Street, Suite 202 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the letter reads, CC Mr. William Bender, journalist, Philadelphia Inquirer, Aaron Smith Levin, president, SPTV Foundation, and Claire Headley, the president of the Aftermath Foundation. Just so everybody was in on the loop. Dear Professor Hamilton. Firstly, I have to make this bigger, guys, because I am straining. Oh, look at that. I can see now. All right. Let me make myself smaller so you guys can see too. I apologize. There we go. Firstly, I'd like to express my admiration for the advocacy work of Child USA and the amazing work you do to make a real difference for the survivors of child abuse. Also, I commend you for the decisive action you took concerning Mr. Brian Kent, as reported in the Philadelphia Inquirer. This decision has made a significant difference in protecting the good name and ongoing work of Child USA. I'm writing to you to express my grave concern regarding another board member, Mr. Michael Rinder. Certain revelations and allegations have recently come to light which undermine the integrity and threaten the reputation of Child USA. Number one, the plaintiff in the pending case against Mr. Kent is allegedly a known associate of Mr. Rinder. She is believed to have confided to Mr. Rinder about the conduct of Mr. Kent more than 18 months ago. If this allegation proves to be correct, then this highlights a dereliction of duty on the part of Mr. Rinder as a board member of Child USA. I would ask that you attempt to confirm this allegation with the plaintiff herself. Number two, it is understood that the Sean P. McMail Statute of Limitations Research Institute at Child USA was instrumental in various states adopting SOL look-back legislation across the nation in cases of historic child abuse. This remains a hugely significant accomplishment on the part of Child USA. It is also understood that 600 plus cases were brought forward, many, if not all, by Child USA. An exception was a Scientology survivor, which was independent of Child USA. Considering that the Child USA board includes a Scientology expert with a huge network of contacts within the ex-Scientology community and a large social media platform, the outcome defies logic. Given the well-documented systemic abuse of children in Scientology, it has been alleged that Mr. Rinder claims to have had no knowledge of the California look-back window expiration date, which is incredulous given his position on the board of Child USA. The teachings, I'm on the wrong page here. There's a sentence missing here. His narrative briefly, if at all, touches on the abuse of children that he himself was complicit in as the head of Office of Special Affairs for 25 years. He was charged with PR and worked with church attorneys to handle legal threats to the church, including those alleging child abuse. Mr. Rinder is certainly aware that the Adolf Eichmann defense has little to no standing in law. Mr. Rinder has been feted as a leader in the ex-Scientology community as he presents himself as an advocate for survivors. Mr. Rinder has recently undergone a dramatic shift within the ex-Scientology community as the survivors of Scientology child abuse have come forward. He has reacted by attempting to dismiss and silence them in his own blog posts and statements on YouTube, invoking the cover of Child USA. Number four, furthermore, Mr. Rinder, along with the Aftermath Foundation board members, have recently appointed new members. One new board member, Miss Stephanie Hutchinson, is notable. Miss Hutchinson is an acolyte of Mr. Rinder, appears to be on a mission, writing and publishing vitriolic blogs, posts at, there's her blog link, guys, in this letter, that demean and smear survivors, as well as on social media platforms, including X, formerly Twitter. Her attacks are notably directed, but not limited to, authors and activists Miss Jenna Miscavige, Miss Elizabeth Liz Gale, both survivors of childhood trauma. These actions violate the Aftermath Foundation's code of conduct that was recently invoked to remove co-founder Aaron Smith Levin. Mr. Rinder and the Aftermath Foundation board have taken no public stance against Miss Hutchinson, which suggests an implicit endorsement of her actions against survivors. Of course, Mr. Rinder will respond that any criticism of him can only be the work of the Church of Scientology fair game policy. an instinctive deflection tactic learned at the knee of his mentor, L. Ron Hubbard. I would like to state that I have no association now or in the past with the church and have only met one known ex-Scientologist in my life, which has no bearing on this situation. Nevertheless, Mr. Rinder continues to exploit his Child USA position and the Aftermath Foundation as a cloak of respectability to evade further scrutiny. Regrettably, Mr. Rinder's recent behavior demonstrates that while he left the Church of Scientology in 2007, Scientology has not left him. This is understandable given that he spent 45 years as a dedicated adherent to the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard. I would ask that you take a closer look for yourself and consider these allegations before making any decisions on the propriety of retaining Mr. Rinder as a continuing board member of your esteemed organization. With sincerity and utmost respect, whoever wrote this, and I want to thank them personally for writing this. Yeah, that's a mic drop, guys. That's a definite mic drop, that one. I just wanted to say that every time Miriam stands up for herself and speaks the truth about Mike Rinder, someone attacks Aaron, as if Aaron would be like, well, Miriam, don't stop saying Mike Rinder's name because they're being so mean to me. Guys, it's not okay. Like, that's not Aaron's vibe. Have you guys met Aaron? Have you seen Aaron? He is strong as fuck. Okay. And he's going to keep going. He's going to keep on keeping on. And Miriam's going to get some justice. You know why? Because of the same reason that I said yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, back all the way to the first day that I declared it. The never ends are going to be the ones that take Scientology down. That's why Mike Rinder hates the protesters so very much. Because they can see right through the emperor's clothes that he is naked and afraid. Okay. So it's really gross to me that Stephanie Hutchison thinks that she can just keep writing vitriol in a free-for-all on the internet and not have backlash, that we aren't going to take her down and tear her apart and hand her booty on a platter. Okay. Because that's what's going to keep happening. I think Mike Rinder has brainwashed people around him. Stephanie Hutchison, maybe even Leah. He's manipulating Scientologies into their brains. I 100% believe that Mike Rinder is behind all of this because he's never stopped crafting the narrative away from L. Ron Hubbard, away from David Miscavige, away from Scientology as a whole. Okay. And only wants there to be certain fall guys out there in the world. We can just nail certain people to the coffin. And then everything's going to be all better. Maybe he really wants David Miscavige to go to jail so he can take Scientology back over. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see here. Vintage Mama of 3, thank you for a super chat. Stephanie and Rinder do not want his cash stream to end, and it's affecting protests. No Scientology, no need for Rinder as an expert. Yeah, that's true. I said that of Tony Ortega many years ago, that if Scientology ended, he would have no job. Peekaboo, her activity helped cover up crimes. Sorry, he actively helped cover up crimes against children and other victims for years. How, without any accountability taken, can he be given any place on any board to help victims? Thank you very much. Another mic drop from Peekaboo today. Thank you. Debbie, please get both sides, J and DOA, of the issue. I've been a supporter of both sides, and I'm heartbroken. People think that their way of protesting is the only way and get upset when their way is not being followed. Thank you for the super chat for this, Debbie with an I. I don't disagree. I think, I've expressed what I think is a good way of doing it. I think DOA is his own man. I'm definitely not going to give coaching lessons on protesting, because here's the situation. This is my personal opinion, okay? All of the protests are good protests. The loud, flamboyant DOA style ones, the quiet, soft-spoken, get to know you JDSA ones, the Tory Magoos, the Streets, the Confidence Chris, the Jessica Palmadessa, the Nance Drew, Pearl Snappy. Everybody has their own voice. And that is what makes this movement so fantastic. Okay, is that we all get to express our upset, our disagreement, our need for Scientology to get shut down. Okay, in our own way. Some of that is therapeutic for some people who are ex-members who express it very loudly with a lot of, language. Some people are quiet. And that's both ways are okay. Okay. I think that when you get to LA, and this is just true of Los Angeles as a whole. Okay. This is why I was born in LA. I fucking hate it. But LA has a vibe about it that can drive people nuts. LA is like this. Just all the time. Just there's never stopping. There's never a break. There's never a breather. It's just, who are you? What are you doing? How can you help me? Who do you know? What's the vibe? How are you pretty? Are you this? Do you want a sponsorship? Blah, 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 blah. It's just like that. And so when you're not from LA, that can be very overwhelming. That vibe is a lot. And I hate it, which is why I don't live there. That's out of choice. So it's an LA thing. It's a personality clash thing. We all have different personalities. We all have different, experiences in life. And that's what makes this beautiful. Okay. In my personal opinion, I want everybody to continue to feel safe to say their piece in their own way and not feel judged or demeaned or unsafe doing their style, and if Jay and Scotty can, get together and, again, this is a private matter that should be talked out between two human individuals and not everybody else. Okay. In my personal opinion, I really hope that they can sort it, because all of these voices, we're all important and we're all needed. Yeah. It is sensory overload. It can be. Yes. Peekaboo. It's important to unplug and recenter, to go touch grass and reset and come back again. Guys, I jumped on with Rabbit this morning, and you know what I did in the in-between times? I watched the first episode of Silo on Apple TV because I needed to reset my brain before I came to talk to you guys on my own live. Okay. And this is very true. Nothing but love. You have family only hours from LA, and holy shit, it's another world. Absolutely. Yes. See? I live in OC and I get grief for that. LA has its own vibe, and I give big props to people who live there and thrive there. No judgment. It's a very unique place, rather be Maui. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So it's just, I really hope. And if anybody has an email for Jay, email that to me at oh.noora.com, oh.nooo, 3 O's in the, no.nora at Gmail. It's gonna be a lot. People just have to, it's like going to a campground. If you've never been to a campground, you have to learn to just get along with everybody there, Oh my goodness, this defender of gems has fleas. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. Australia doesn't want him. Are we talking about Mike Rinder? Yeah, he can't go back for some reason. There's some reason he can't go back. I can't remember. But yeah. Guys, I want to thank you so much. It's almost, we're 2 hours. Yes, Silo is a series on Apple TV Plus. Marilee, go check it. It's good. Oh God, that first episode got me. I'm gonna have to go watch some more. And yeah. Yes, it was Osmond. I did look it up. Thank you, Mousy. You'll see. I finally find it there. All right. Oh my goodness, Blake. Yes, Mike Rinder, you are done. You are done. Yes, agree, Blake. And thank you for the super chat. So, guys, here's the deal. I want to say, please, everybody, let's support the protesters. I'm going to pull it up here for everybody to see. Let's go to SPTV.space. Let me refresh here so we can see who's live. I'm live. Look at that. We've got Solomon's out there, Reggie Pie, Jessica Palmadessa is live. Let's see what's up with Jessica. Miss Palmadessa, where's she at? It looks like she's.
How did Joey get through the metal detector? Will should bring Gizmo? I agree. Girl, you're gonna want to stay away from this DOA drama. I don't care about anything going on with them. To be honest, I'm not part of that. The dog is in the courtroom. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh my God. He brought his dog.
He probably bought a what's it called? A wee pad for the for the dog. Probably a wee pad in the corner.
Thank you for this super chat. This is so generous, Kay Taylor. Not sure if many really grasp how dangerous
You're
it is
in a
in LA right
streets
now.
cult. What?
Let me mute Jessica here real quick. I want to read your whole thing. Oh, I'm going to the wrong tab.
Will you be napping after this? Probably not. Please stay away from DOA mess. I'm not getting involved, guys.
Her whole chat is just going off about DOA right now. Not sure if many really grasp how dangerous it is LA right now with the movement. Yes, things are going to occur with protesters and streamers that will hurt all of us. What's happening is a reckoning of Scientology and LAPD. Not going to be pretty. Absolutely, guys. I said it yesterday. I will say it again. Okay. It is the ceiling there in the LA courtroom. It's look at that. Just lovely tiles, lovely tiles. I will say this again. It's only going to get worse from here because the LAPD isn't going to go quietly. Scientology is not going to go quietly. Okay. That is facts. So we have to stay strong, stay loud, stay proud, and keep supporting the protesters that are out there nightly in each of the cities. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all on the Flippity Dippity.